I want to discuss how many books you're supposed to read, how fast you're supposed to read these books, or rather that I really don't freaking care at all. Hello everyone, I am Allie, I am a daydreamer and I'm a lover of stories, and welcome to my channel. I have been struggling a lot lately, specifically with what is going on within the book community. And it feels like keeping up with the Joneses, and I can't. When you're on social media, I feel like all you see is, look at these 7 books I read this week. Here's the 15 books I read for the month wrap up. Ooh, this new book came out and I'm reading it on its debut day. And I'm like, I read 2 books this month. My wrap up was that. I can't even think about a new book coming out because they still have this massive TBR to get through. I'm not judging. Everyone reads at different paces and does their own thing. I'm like, if I'm feeling this way, maybe you are too. And that's why I really wanted to address it. Especially because as someone who is a content creator, you always feel like you especially have to keep up with the Joneses more than normal, and it's not realistic. I love reading. I try reading almost every single day, and if I miss a day, it makes me really sad. But guess what? That's life. We have jobs, we have other things that we have to do. Maybe you're also like me where you have ADHD, so focusing is a little bit harder. Eventually, I feel like sometimes it can start to feel like work. And if your reading is work, why are you doing it? We're focusing on these 2 today. I kind of did this to myself, so I do not want you to ever feel like you have to read multiple books. If you watched my previous video, I did that to get out of a reading slump, but lo and behold, reading multiple books is actually, for me, challenging, and that's fine. Game of Thrones is put on hold because I just can't manage it right now. And I completely forgot that I was gonna start a buddy read with my friend Paige a few days ago. And then I'm still finishing the other book from that reading vlog, y'all. The Invisible Life of Audie LaRue. I am at least halfway now, and it's stressing me out. I'm like struggling to want to finish it because I really don't know if this book could have a happy ending or not. And I want it to, but I don't know if that's possible. And then for my buddy read, I'm rereading The Hobbit. I have literally not read this book since I was a sophomore in high school. Wow, there's so much I do not remember from this book. It's taking me back, but we are doing this at our own pace. We're reading about 1 to 2 chapters a day. I honestly love that. We're just enjoying our time, and I'm excited for Paige to get to know Middle-earth, which is what got me into fantasy in the first place. I'm not putting any page counts or pressures on myself. I want to enjoy the day reading. Okay, I just finished reading Invisible Life of Audie LaRue. You know what I really love about going into a new book is that you have no idea what to expect. It's kind of like that feeling of like, I wish I could read a book again for the first time, because it's this like magical experience that you're never going to have again. I had no idea what I was going into with this book, and it continues to surprise me. There's just like this huge major plot reveal that just happened, which makes me even more nervous now. And I can't say because I want you to read it. I feel like this book is really, so far, because I haven't finished it, really feels like when you really want something in life, and if that wish is granted, there's always a give and take. You can't have everything, not everything can be perfect. It kind of like really teaches you about like gratitude. If you were to have that thing, then what else would you miss out on? And then this was another thing I wanted to talk about. Character Audie, I don't feel like this is a spoiler. She has a ring, is magically imbued from the evil god that she made her deal with. And she was saying something in the book, when she puts it on, it feels like it calls him to her. And so she hates being near it, she hates touching it. And since I'm currently reading The Hobbit, it just made me think a little bit about like the One Ring and Sauron. And I was just like, that's like a fun little fantasy connection. I think I read like 50 pages or something, but you guys, this took me like a few hours. At the point, again, I want to harp back on, a reading should always be at your own pace for your own experience. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to read a book, how fast you can read a book. Being a reader is because you love reading and you love disappearing into these imaginary worlds. And that's all that should ever matter when it comes to reading. Time to read The Hobbit, my favorite chapter. I'm so excited. I feel like it's everyone's favorite chapter. That's because it's so good. Riddles in the Dark, where we get all the infamous riddles from The Hobbit and Bilbo meets Gollum. I feel like a little kid reading these books again. They make me so happy. This world is my favorite world. I did like an unboxing of these books if you guys want to check that out. This is a HarperCollins edition. These books are so gorgeous. I'm happy that I picked these for my special edition because we have all this beautiful art in here by Alan Lee, who actually worked on the film. I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. If you can't tell, I am so excited. Okay. I did it. I finished my chapter on riddles in the dark. I don't think I technically knew this, but I just learned it or relearned it now, that when you're wearing the ring outside, it casts a faint but kind of like unnoticeable shadow. So like you can still see your shadow in the sunlight, which is pretty cool. Well, the story is so sad still even to this day. And I love that Tolkien put empathy into Bilbo in that moment. Like when he's like waiting to get through the passage to go through the door to exit, and he just sees Gollum so upset and torn apart, and he like feels bad for him that he doesn't even want to fight him. I know that Tolkien wrote The Hobbit for his son Christopher. When I was reading it, there is a couple spots where like the narrator's voice comes through. Almost sounds like he's describing himself as a human man. So I'm like, wait, is this literally supposed to be in the voice of Tolkien? Like, is Tolkien the narrator? That might be me reaching. Today, I got to fill my day with reading, which is the best way to fill a Saturday. Then I got to share it with you all. So that makes me happy. And I love storytelling. I would love it if you guys would tell me in the comments right now what you're reading and just gush over it. Oh, also, I did finish Float Plan. I'm not gonna do a review here on this channel for it, but if you wanna see my review for it, you can check it out on my Goodreads or my Instagram. But those links are down below. I need to eat dinner. Okay.